Good morning, everybody. Well, hope everybody else is having a good day. Me, this isn't one of my favorite kind of days at all. Today, I have to take Gracie to the vet. Okay, well, I don't really like going to doctors myself, period. There was a long time in my life where you could not get me into one of those, but well, after a few blood clots and a heart attack or so, I have a tendency to go regularly to the doctor, get checkups, and all that. Take the pills they give me most of the time. A few times I decided to stop taking those pills. Things didn't work out very well for me. So the way I see it is I'm on borrowed time thanks to modern medical science is the only reason I'm still sitting here talking to you. Otherwise, I'd have been buried with most of my friends already. We got Gracie, and so she came in here, and well, she wasn't well when she showed up. I mean, she wasn't sick per se, but she had fleas. She had skin irritations from all the bites and things that were driving her buggy. She had stomach worms. She had intestinal worms. That was the most of it, I guess. She had parasites mostly. Just about all the parasites most cats pick up here in Hawaii, she had them. And so we had to treat for all that, and of course we also had her fixed, so there won't be any more kittens coming, which maybe was a mistake. Once I found out what a great cat she was, I was thinking maybe I should have bred her, but that's too late. Who knows if the offsprings would be anything like the parent anyway, right? Yeah, so this is the time. Ellen has always been much more in sync with medical practices, taking supplements, using pharmaceuticals and so on. She has always believed in all of this. All right. Whereas I tend to resist it. We had been almost polar opposite. We are now kind of coming to an equilibrium since, I have to go to the doctors now periodically. I've just gotten too old not to. I can't overlook it anymore. And so, technically, Gracie is Ellen's cat. Yes, the only reason I say that is because I had no interest in acquiring a pet, really. Nothing serious at all. Every once in a while, a couple thoughts, but it was really nothing. When the cat showed up, I said, "Oh, a mouser." Yeah, I saw a farm worker. That's what I saw. But Ellen apparently had been wishing for a pet. Now, the pet, in her mind, wasn't a cat. This is the whole thing about, what you want and then again what you need. I guess I think she thought maybe she wanted a puppy dog, but it turns out she needed a cat. And in the long run, I think it was a very good choice for the universe. Yeah, Ellen's awful busy all the time. She gets distracted and things and gets, and so, a dog might get somewhat neglected at times, whereas the cat, tend to take care of themselves a little bit more. So she has more freedom with Gracie around here. Technically, Gracie is, a wild cat, and I guess if we locked the door and threw her out in the backyard and left for a week, there's a pretty good chance she'd be okay and still be here when we came back. That's probably true, although I wouldn't probably do that to her. I don't know what we do about that situation. Anyway, so the problem is that we have taken Gracie into the vet twice so far. Yeah, she's been in there twice, and each time we had to borrow a cat carrier from Gary and Kahoa. And it was a little one. It's not very big, but Gracie's not a very big cat, and so she did fit in it, but man, getting her in, when we left the vet the last time there, it took me and the nurse to get that cat inside that carrier. We were talking spread eagle, all four paws out. I ain't going in the doorway. No, yes. Well, it was kind of traumatic for all of us involved. I didn't like it. And so ever since then, I'd been talking with Ellen that, we kind of need to get Gracie used to using a harness and a leash so we don't have to stuff her inside a box when we have to take her somewhere, That, and we have tried a couple of times to get her used to being in a car, which it hasn't worked out well at all. The last time I tried to get her into a car, she flew right out before we even got it started, so I quit. But she has to get into the car today. And, last time I had her in the carrier, and so I put her in the tailgate there and locked her in the dark, and that was that. And she meowed, finally calmed down, pretty much. But it wasn't fun for either of us. So this time I said, yeah, we're going to see, if we can carry and walk her in to the vet and see if we can, without having to shove her inside a box. So apparently one of the nurses had brought up the idea that they do have materials that will reduce anxiety in pets. And well, I know when we brought her home the last time from the vet, and she'd had an operation, for spade, and well, they'd given her all kind of dope, and they'd given her a prescription to more of it because there'd be pain associated, and so they gave us about 3 days worth of dope for the cat, and well, like I say, she'd come in here a wildcat, and but. After we got back and I gave her that dope, Gracie ended up sleeping between the two of us on our pillows. The dope just completely relaxed that cat, and it was I think one of the reasons that we managed to get things organized and bonded so well, converting the wildcat to a indoor-outdoor house cat. Those drugs actually helped. Yeah, they calmed her down so much that the first 3-day transition period was pretty easy for her. She was like, hey, you're Bill? Ooh, hi, Bill. Yeah, well, so one of the nurses suggested we could use an anti-anxiety medicine. And so I went and I got some. And, well, it turns out this stuff is just gabapentin is what this is. I don't think I've ever used it, but I know Ellen has used this. They use this as a supplement with people, too. Yeah, so I bought a bottle of it from her, one couple of doses that we'll need. We gave her one last night, and I just dosed up some cat food with one more dose of it this morning that I haven't given it to her yet. She's still out walking around. I'm supposed to give it to her a couple hours before we go into the vet this morning. We'll see. She did pretty good at eating it up last night. Now, I was worried about this. Gracie does like soft cat food. Yeah, she likes it, although she's kind of weird about it. If it's got chunks in it, she'll drink all the juice and leave the chunks behind. I don't know. But Ellen found some that was more smooth, like a pate, and so I was supposed to take 2 milliliters of this stuff, and I shot it in there last night. They give you you get a little bottle like this that was full of gabapentin, and then you get a little syringe thingy like that you use to measure it with. And well, I shot it into some soft cat food, and we stirred it in, and I was a little concerned about it because I tasted it. Since I knew it was gabapentin, there was no harm. And I tasted it to find out, and it's a little sweet, a little bitter. It wasn't real pronounced, so I figured she'd probably eat it, and yeah, she did eat most of the soft food last night. She didn't get all of it, but she ate most of it. And it looks like it's had an effect. Yeah, this morning when she jumped up on the bed to get me up, she wasn't as insistent as usual. She collapsed and laid there for a while. She actually gave me almost an extra 30 minutes of sleep this morning because she just wasn't very pushy. I guess it's the gabapentin. I don't notice it too much, but she doesn't seem like she's pushing quite as hard on things since I gave it to her. We'll see. Give her another dose here this morning, see if we can get her calmed down, and see if I can get her inside the car with just the harness and the leash. Ellen's going to have to hold on to her. We had her sleeping on a specific towel there on her favorite rug for a while. Get her scent on it, and we'll take the towel with us, and put it on Ellen's lap. And just hope for the best. That this is going to work out. I really don't want to have to push the poor cat back into a box again. She just doesn't like it. And I don't blame her. I had to modify the litter box. It had a flippy door on the front, that they're supposed to go through. She saw that door and she said, no, that's a cat carrier. I ain't going in there. I had to take the door off before she'd even use the litter box. It's just her fear of small spaces with doors that close her in is pretty intense. Well, there's the news for today. That's going to be most of it. Maybe if I can manage while I'm down in Pahoa, I'll see if I can pick myself up a calzone at Boogie Woogie Pizza or something nice. But otherwise, I don't know. I guess there's some people might be coming by today, perhaps, with tilapia for my fish pond, too. And I think somebody else is supposed to come by for pineapple slips, which, again, I repeat, we brought in fresh pineapples. I have white pineapple for sale. And I brought in all kinds of slips. We got slips, and slips. We're good with slips, okay? I got a whole bucket of them next to me here. So I'll pile under the tree behind me. Yeah, so if you want to grow those pineapples or eat those pineapples, you'll probably want to come see us. Although I'll be gone the first half of today. Yeah. Second half, I'll be around here. Hang loose, folks. Aloha.